Imagine finding a single penny in your pocket. Change. We're counting down the top 3 most valuable Lincoln pennies ever discovered. Could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. That's the magic of rare Lincoln pennies. Tiny copper treasures hiding incredible stories and jaw-dropping values. From unique minting errors to special strikes. Collectors. I'm talking about the legendary 1964 SMS Lincoln penny, a coin so scarce that only a handful are known today. Some call it a mistake, others call it a test strike, and a few even whisper that it might have been made secretly inside the U.S. Mint. Imagine finding just one in a collection or a coin jar. That single copper coin could pay for a brand new car, a dream vacation, or even part of your retirement fund. So, stick with me until the end of this video, because we're going to uncover the full story, the mysterious history. The background. To understand the 1964 SMS penny, we need to step back in time to the early 1960s. The U.S. Mint was facing a coin shortage crisis. Silver prices were rising, and people were hoarding coins. By 1964, the Mint was producing massive numbers of coins to meet demand, billions of them. The Lincoln cent, made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, was struck in huge quantities that year. But at the same time, the Mint was preparing for something new. Special mint sets, SMS coins. These were high-quality strikes produced between 1965 and 1967, meant to replace proof sets temporarily while the Mint dealt with the coin shortage. What makes the 1964 SMS penny? At first glance, the 1964 SMS Lincoln penny looks like any ordinary 1964 cent. But look closer, and you'll notice some unusual features. Striking quality. Unlike the typical circulation strike, SMS coins were struck on polished dies with extra pressure, resulting in sharp details. The 1964 SMS penny shows extremely crisp lines on Lincoln's portrait, the lettering, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Satin finish. While proof coins usually have a mirror-like surface, SMS coins have a distinctive satin-like texture. The 1964 SMS penny carries this same unique finish, setting it apart from business strikes. Square rim. Collectors have noted that these coins have sharp, square rims, a trait not seen on regular 1964 cents. Die markers. Specific die characteristics, like stronger details in Lincoln's hair and beard, distinguish the SMS version. Lack of mint luster. Ordinary cents often show a bright coppery shine, but SMS pennies have a more subdued, satin-like appearance. These subtle details are what alert experts and grading companies that a coin is indeed one of the mysterious 1964 SMS issues. Auction sales and values. Now let's talk about the numbers, the part that really makes jaws drop. In 2004, one of these coins sold at auction for nearly $15,000. That alone is an unbelievable figure for a penny. But it didn't stop there. As awareness of the 1964 SMS Lincoln penny grew, so did the prices in 2010. Another example fetched $24,000 at auction in 2015, a stunning high-grade piece sold for over $32,000. And in 2018, a record-setting example reached $37,000. Yes, for a single copper penny. Think about that. A coin worth 1 cent when it was struck, now worth more than most cars, more than some people's annual salary, and even more than a luxury vacation. And here's the kicker: because so few of these coins exist, the next one that comes to auction could go even higher. Some experts believe we could see prices of $50,000 or more if a top-condition specimen ever comes up for sale again. How to identify one? Now, you might be wondering, what if you have one? How could you tell? Date and design. It must be a 1964 Lincoln cent, no mint mark varieties, just the standard design. Finish. Look for that unusual satin, almost matte-like finish instead of the usual shiny luster. Details. Extra sharp features in Lincoln's hair, beard, and the lettering. Rim. A squared-off rim, unlike the rounded rims of circulation strikes. Certification. Ultimately, if you think you have one, it needs to be graded and authenticated by PCGS or NGC. They are the only way to confirm you truly have one of these rare SMS coins. Why collectors love it? The 1964 SMS Lincoln penny isn't just valuable because of its rarity. It's valuable because of its mystery. Coin collectors are drawn to stories of mistakes, secrets, and mysteries that slip through history. And this coin has it all. A date that shouldn't exist in SMS format. A production run that was never recorded. A handful of survivors that now fetch small fortunes. It's the kind of coin that keeps collectors awake at night, dreaming of the possibility of discovering one hidden in an old collection or coin jar. We're diving deep into the history, rarity, and shocking value of the 1969 S-era Lincoln penny. And trust me, you'll want to watch until the end, because the story of this coin involves government raids, secret hoards, and a battle between counterfeiters and the U.S. Mint unlike anything you've ever heard in coin history. So grab your magnifying glass, because this isn't just about any penny, this is about one of the holy grails of American coin collecting. The historical. To understand why the 1969 S-era Lincoln penny is so important, we need to step back into the late 1960s. The United States Mint was struggling with demand. The economy was growing, coin shortages were still fresh in people's memory from the early 1960s, and mints in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco were working overtime to keep up. In 1969, the San Francisco Mint was striking billions of pennies, but hidden in that enormous sea of coins, a tiny mistake slipped through. And that mistake created one of the most valuable error coins in U.S. history. Why is the 1969 S penny so rare? Here's the thing, error coins happen all the time. But the 1969 S double die obverse stands out for several reasons. Extremely low mintage. Unlike the famous 1955 double die penny, where thousands exist, only a handful of 1969 S double dies were ever struck. Experts estimate fewer than 100 to 150 examples survive today. Bold doubling. On this coin, the doubling is dramatic and unmistakable. The words are so strongly doubled that even without magnification, you can see it. Government seizures. The Secret Service raids in the early 1970s destroyed many of these pennies, making the survivors even rarer. San Francisco Mint. Since it carries the S mint mark, it immediately stands out. Most collectors focus on Philadelphia or Denver mint errors, but San Francisco issues are often produced in much smaller numbers, increasing rarity. That combination, low numbers, dramatic error, government confiscation, and a famous mint, make the 1969 S double die one of the most desirable pennies in existence. How to identify a genuine 1969 S double die? So how can you tell if the penny in your pocket change might secretly be worth $50,000? Here are the key things to look for. Strong doubling on the obverse. Look at and the date 1969. The doubling is bold and clear, not faint, not blurry. If it looks weak, it's probably not the real deal. Mint mark position. The S mint mark was added separately after the doubling occurred. That means the mint mark itself is not doubled. This is the single easiest way to tell a real 1969 S double die from a counterfeit. Authentication. If you think you found one, don't spend it. Get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Only certified coins will fetch big money at auction. Auction records, shocking values. This is where things get really exciting. Let's look at the auction history of this coin. In 2008, a 1969 S double die Lincoln penny graded MS64 red sold for nearly $52,000 at heritage auctions. Even lower grade examples like $55 Australian dollars or MS62 still bring in $45,000 to $58,000 depending on appeal. Certified examples in choice mint state are considered dream coins for collectors, often sparking bidding wars that drive prices higher than expected. So whether it's a circulated example worth tens of thousands, or a mint state example worth well over six figures, this little penny is truly a treasure hiding in plain sight. The collector's holy grail. A normal 1969 S penny is worth exactly 1 cent. A circulated double die error could pay off your mortgage, and a pristine, high-grade specimen could buy you a brand new luxury car, or even a small house. That's why collectors hunt for this coin with such passion. It's not just a rare penny, it's a symbol of how tiny mistakes at the mint can turn ordinary coins into legends. Common confusions and fakes. Now, I have to warn you, this coin is one of the most counterfeited pennies of all time. Scammers often take regular 1969 S pennies and use mechanical doubling, acid etching, or other methods to fake the doubled look. But here's the catch: mechanical doubling looks flat, shelf-like, and lifeless. A genuine double die has thick, rounded, and strong separation in the letters and numbers. If you're unsure, always consult a grading service. With so much money on the line, authentication is everything. Could you have one? Here's the $1 million, or should I say, the $58,000. Could you have one of these coins sitting in a jar at home? Collectors have found rare error coins like this in bank rolls, estate sales, old change jars, and even pocket change. The odds are tiny, but the possibility keeps treasure hunters searching, so the next time you see a 1969 penny, take a closer look. Who knows, you might just be holding a fortune. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1983 D-era copper Lincoln penny, a coin so rare. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a simple penny, and realizing it's not just worth 1 cent, not even $100, but as much as that's right. A tiny copper coin minted in 1983 with a D mint mark from Denver has stunned collectors, becoming one of the most valuable modern pennies in existence. Only a handful are known, and when they hit auction, they send shockwaves through the numismatic world. The background: to understand why the 1983 D copper penny is so special, we need to step back to the early 1980s. For over a century, the U.S. Mint had struck Lincoln cents mostly in 95% copper and 5% zinc/tin. These were the classic copper pennies we all think of: solid, heavy, and reddish-brown in color. But by the late 1970s and early 1980s, copper prices skyrocketed. At one point, the metal in a penny was worth almost as much as the coin's face value. This created a serious problem. Producing pennies was becoming more expensive than the coins were worth. The U.S. Mint had no choice but to find a cheaper alternative. Auction records and skyrocketing values. Now, let's talk about the part that really makes jaws drop: the value. Because of its rarity and error status, the 1983 D copper penny has fetched astonishing sums at auction. One specimen, graded by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, sold for $62,000. Another brought in $69,000. And experts believe the finest surviving examples could command as much as $75,000 or more in today's market. Think about that for a moment: a coin worth 1 cent suddenly becoming worth more than a brand new luxury car, or even a down payment on a house. That's the kind of magic stories like this bring to the world of coin collecting. How to identify a 1983 D copper penny? So how do you know if you have one of these priceless treasures sitting in a jar at home? Here's a step-by-step checklist. Check the date and mint mark. Look for a 1983 penny with a small d under the date, indicating it was struck in Denver. Weigh the coin. Use a precise digital scale. A zinc penny will weigh 2.5 grams, but a copper error will weigh about 3.1 grams. That difference is your biggest clue. Look for professional authentication. If your coin appears to be copper, do not clean it, polish it, or alter it in any way. Send it directly to a grading service like PCGS or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Authenticators use specialized equipment to confirm the metal content and certify the coin. Beware of counterfeits. Unfortunately, some people try to alter regular zinc pennies to mimic the copper ones. They might plate them or tamper with them, but authentic grading services can easily spot these fakes. If yours turns out to be real, you may be sitting on a small fortune. Why collectors love it? Collectors are obsessed with this coin for 3 big reasons. Rarity: with fewer than 20 known examples, it's rarer than many famous coins from U.S. history. Error status. Mint errors have always fascinated collectors, especially when they involve transitional metals like this one. Modern appeal. Unlike older rarities from the 1800s, this is a modern coin that could realistically still be found in circulation, making the hunt accessible to everyone. This combination of factors makes the 1983 D copper penny one of the holy grails of modern U.S. coinage.